There are lots of different ways that you can maximize your growing space in your garden without having to add on any more to your existing garden. I've already discussed intercropping in this video up here, which you can check out, but today we're going to be focusing more on succession planting. Succession planting, or you might have heard it as succession sowing, is when you stagger the planting times of things so that you have different harvest dates and really, like I said, maximize your growing space. This works with some plants, but not with all of them. The ones that it works best for are in pretty much four categories. Your legumes, such as your green beans and your peas, all of those, your root vegetables such as carrots and beets and radishes, your leafy greens like your lettuces and Swiss chard and spinach, and then the fourth would be corn. One other thing that I forgot you can do some succession planting with are flowers. Things like zinnias, sunflowers, those are things that you can also plant in stages, so that way you can have continual blooms. Some locations that have very, very long, hot summers or really cool or very mild winters, sometimes they can get a second sowing of things like cucumbers, squash, tomatoes. In my location, I can't. They are a one-time done thing, but the rest of the little pockets of my garden where I have spaces, I will do a lot of succession sowing of the things that I already mentioned. The benefits of succession planting is that you're not having to harvest things all at the same time. So you are not only staggering your harvest date, but you're also filling in spaces that become available. For instance, when I'm done harvesting my garlic, I'm going to be putting some compost in that soil and then planting something else, probably something like carrots or beets for the fall. That way that land is not just sitting there doing nothing. There are lots of different ways that you can incorporate succession sowing in your garden. I'm going to be talking about two of those today. A really easy plant that you can start with are your root vegetables. Things like radishes especially are so fast growing that you can start radishes and plant them about every 2 weeks or so and just have a continual supply of radishes all summer through the winter even. I see there's a little snake watching me as I'm filming right now, and he's so cute. Carrots and beets are another great example. I planted these carrots in, I believe, March to April. I'm going to pull one up so I can show you. So here is a carrot that I planted several months ago. And then over here on this other side, let me take you over here, I have my tomato bed, and I planted carrots in here about a month ago. And so let me show you the biggest one. I'm just going to give you an example. I wouldn't obviously usually harvest these. You can see how it's so much tinier, but I had planted these about a couple months apart. So now I have carrots that are just about ready to harvest, with some that are going to be ready to harvest in probably about another month. And I'm going to be planting some more carrots today for another harvest. So I'm going to be constantly having carrots that are at different stages of growth in my garden to harvest. Carrots are slow growers, but they are cold hardy. So they are ones that you can plant pretty much all season long. The last planting I usually make is late August to very early September, and I will be harvesting them through the winter. So because they can stay in the soil through the winter. So these are a wonderful one. The same with beets and radishes that you can plant pretty much any time of the season, even right before winter. Another great example are your lettuces. I always have lettuces at different stages of growth in my garden. And usually the difficulty with lettuce is that sometimes it can want to just bolt in the summer. So there might be a small period around July and August that you won't be able to plant your lettuces because they'll just want to go straight to bolting. But pretty much from the beginning of spring all the way until late spring, early summer, and then once again late summer into fall, you could be planting your lettuces about every 2 weeks to about once a month. I had a blank space in between my peppers here, and I planted this lettuce. It is just about ready to harvest. It is so beautiful, and so I'm going to be picking that. And I already have some lettuce in my fridge that I picked about a month ago. No, about a week ago. And then I have some more that's going to be ready in about 2 weeks, and I'm going to be planting some more in just a few days. So the first method of succession sowing is to plant the same plant at different times. So usually around The minimum is 2 weeks. The maximum is about every month. And so that way you can have a staggered harvest time for each of those things. The second way to do succession sowing is to plant different things at different times. Whenever you have an empty space in your garden that opens up from having planted something there before, think in your head, what can I plant in place of that? I usually aim to fill an empty spot within a week of harvesting something. So for instance, once this garlic is harvested, I'm going to be hopefully within a week planting something in that spot that will take over for the next part of the season. This is a crucial mistake that a lot of gardeners make, and I made when I first started gardening, is to view your garden season as you plant everything in the spring and that is your garden for the whole summer. Instead of viewing your garden as ebbing and flowing throughout the season, where there are things, as things are harvested, you're planting more. Instead of viewing your garden in the whole season that you have it, view it in about like month-long blocks. In the month of July, what are you harvesting and what can you be planting in that month? This is also something that's going to come with trial and error as you get to know your local climate and what things work best for you in your area. Another example is, like, for instance, right here in the center of my bed, I have Brussels sprouts, which are so long, like they take so long to grow. I planted these in the spring. I'm not going to be harvesting these Brussels sprouts until probably, I don't know, February, March next year. So they are such a long growing one. But I am planning that these are my big rocks in the garden, and then I'm planting things around them as I have space. So I had just pulled up some bok choy right here along the side of them, and I'm thinking I'm going to plant a row of radishes now because the space is available, and radishes are really fast growing, and so I'm going to be harvesting those in probably about a month's time. Don't allow yourself to get really stuck in, oh, what things can I plant or not plant. I've said this a lot of times, gardening is a lot of trial and error, so don't get really hung up on these details. Instead, learn the basics and just keep trying it. Plant things that you are like, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, and see what happens. It is better than just letting a plot of your garden just sit there not being planted. I hope that this video is helpful. I know that there's a lot more information that I could cover in this, but this is the basics of how to do succession sowing. It's easy, it's practical, and you can apply it right away in your garden. If you have any questions about succession planting, leave a comment down below. Let me know what that is, and I'll see if I can cover it in a future video. I'm all about maximizing your growing space, and I want to give you the information that is most helpful for you. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a like and just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks for joining me today. As always, go out and grow something, and God bless. You can do succession sowing really fast, and it's a really good tongue twister.